This is Neural Newscast for Monday, March 2nd, 2026.
I'm Evelyn Hartwell. Here is what matters this morning.
President Trump says he is not ruling out putting boots on the ground in Iran as Operations Roaring Lion and Epic Fury enter their third day. This follows the killing of Supreme Leader Ayatollah Ali Khamenei in an Israeli strike on a Tehran bunker earlier this weekend. The administration has positioned several carrier strike groups within striking distance, signaling a significant escalation in American involvement in the region.
The conflict has widened across the region, with Qatar's defense ministry reporting its forces shot down 2 Iranian Su-24 fighter jets today. This incident occurred near the North Field, one of the world's largest gas reserves. Iran has also targeted neighboring Gulf states that host American military bases, further complicating the diplomatic landscape as regional partners weigh their defense commitments.
Speaking at the White House, Trump told reporters he will take any necessary action to meet his objectives, despite not yet specifying what those goals are. Meanwhile, the IDF says it is striking nuclear and air facilities near Isfahan. Analysts suggest these coordinated strikes are intended to dismantle Iran's retaliatory capabilities, while the domestic situation in Tehran remains unstable following the loss of its top leadership.
In northern Israel and Lebanon, IDF Chief of Staff Eyal Zamir says he will insist Hezbollah be disarmed before the campaign concludes. This follows the militant group launching rockets into Israel for the first time in over a year. The escalation on the northern border has forced thousands of civilians into shelters as the Israeli Air Force continues sorties over the Bekaa Valley.
Meanwhile, in Texas, the ongoing primary elections are providing the first real test of Latino support for the Republican Party since the 2024 election. These voters were instrumental in recent GOP victories in historically Democratic strongholds along the Rio Grande Valley. Political strategists are looking at these results as a bellwether for the upcoming midterm cycle.
Early voting patterns suggest a potential shift in alignment, and both parties are watching the results closely. The outcome will likely influence strategy for the upcoming midterm cycle across the southern United States. Democratic organizers are focusing on turnout efforts to regain ground in urban centers, while Republicans emphasize economic stability and border security.
Next, we look at new public safety data showing that nearly 74% of car seats checked by technicians in 2025 were installed incorrectly. Car accidents remain a leading cause of death among children in the United States, and authorities are concerned that high-tech seat designs may be contributing to consumer confusion.
Safety experts emphasize that car seats should not move more than 1 inch when secured at the base. They also note that harness height must be adjusted based on whether the seat is forward or rear-facing to be effective. Proper installation can reduce the risk of fatal injury by up to 71% for infants.
Still, environmental researchers are tracking the impact of climate change on vulnerable species like the Minnesota moose and the Mount Graham red squirrel. Scientists are using GPS collars to monitor these populations in remote boreal forests. The goal is to identify migration corridors that may provide refuge as southern habitats become increasingly uninhabitable.
These efforts aim to understand how rising temperatures affect the habitats of charismatic animals. The research requires teams to operate in isolated areas, often hours away from the nearest human settlement. Data collected from these collars help researchers map precisely how heat stress affects reproductive cycles and foraging behavior in the wild.
Here is what else we're watching. We are monitoring the timeline for a Supreme Court ruling on the marijuana and firearms case following today's oral arguments. A decision is expected before the current term ends in June.
We are also tracking the final results from the Texas primaries as they come in late tonight. The data will clarify the current political leanings of influential Latino swing voters and set the stage for the general election season.
Finally, the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration is expected to release updated guidelines for car seat installation based on the 2025 findings. This initiative aims to reduce preventable injuries for young passengers through better manufacturer labeling.
I'm Evelyn Hartwell.
And I'm Thomas Keene.
This has been Neural Newscast.
Neural Newscast is AI-assisted, human-reviewed. View our AI transparency policy at neuralnewscast.com. Thanks for listening.
Neural Newscast uses artificial intelligence in content creation, with human editorial review prior to publication. While we strive for factual, unbiased reporting, AI-assisted content may occasionally contain errors. Verify critical information with trusted sources. Learn more at neuralnewscast.com.